Sam, the Frugal Hooga Gardener, and on my workload today I need to go ahead and remove some banana pups. I got some nice tall ones over here, and I have some smaller ones, and I have a lot of plants that have a lot of pups on them, so I need to go ahead and remove multiple. So with that said, let me show you some of these and we'll get on with it. Okay, so I need to remove some pups because, as you can see, there's lots on each one of my banana plants, going all the way out that way and all the way that way. And I want to go ahead and remove them. I'm going to separate them and then pot them, and that will give these banana plants over here a chance to have more energy to grow and produce more pups. So with that said, let's get on with it. Okay, for those of you that don't know, I have a working homestead over here, and I'm doing permaculture, hugelculture, and a regular garden, or above average regular garden. And I like to garden like a pro. So I'm going to show you and give you tips along the way as I do my daily chores. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and fill these up with composted horse manure so I could get back over there and separate and plant some banana plants. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is get some big pots, and I like to fill them up with composted horse manure, and I leave so much on the top because once I plant the pups, I'm going to go ahead and top it off with wood chips to retain the moisture. So let me go ahead and finish all this and I'll be back at you. Okay, so I went ahead and filled up 6 pots. I have a lot more than that to go, but for right now I got 6 and I got it on a pallet. So first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to get my tractor and take this pallet over to my banana plants where I need to remove the pups, and I'm going to show you the proper way to separate pups and to plant them in pots and how to get them to root and grow well. So back at you. And today on my workload, I need to go ahead and remove some banana pups. All my banana plants right over here have 4 and 5 or more pups, and on each plant there's 1 or 2 that are large enough for me to go ahead and warrant removing them and potting them so they could grow over there. Let all the energy go into the big banana plant and let it grow some more new pups so I can separate them again. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, gonna need some tools. So I got myself a nice big square shovel. I got a nice smaller flat shovel, which I like to use to cut. I got a little garden spade just in case I need it. And this is my #1 go-to tool. I hoe it out like that in between the small cracks and crevices. Definitely gonna need some water. This is Florida. Need some towels. Gonna have to wipe your face and your hands. And need a bag that you can kneel on so the mulch don't kill your needs. And of course you need something to put all the pups in when you got them out of the ground. So with that said, here's my tools and let's get started. Okay, so first things first, I have a really nice sized pup over here and a little smaller sized pup. I really want to get this one without this one, but maybe I might have to take 2, and I won't know till I get down and dirty. So with that said, first thing I'm going to do is remove my chop and drop. Then I'm going to remove some of the chips I got there and get out into the dirt. I'm going to follow the big main banana plant down to the corm and see where it separates and see where I can see the roots. And then I'll give you a real good close-up of where I'm going to make the cut and how I cut it and remove it. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I'm on the bag over here so my knees don't get all tore up. So I got this, and I'm going to remove my chop and drop. I don't want to reach in there with my hand just in case there's a moccasin. I'm on a pond here. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the chop and drop so I can see what's under all this. Okay, and there's another pup. So now that I can see, right down here, I know there's no moccasin and it's safe to dig. And I look all the way around me, make sure none's creeping up. Now I could go ahead and remove the compost away from the pups, the chips. So let me go ahead and do that. Notice how much chips I had around there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and dig down using this little tool right here to get in between. Okay, I just found 2 more pups coming out of the ground down there. And if I wasn't digging it out, if I wasn't digging this way, I would have missed them. So already digging it out this way paid off, because I'm going to be able to save those 2 pups, I believe, right there. Okay, I went ahead and dug out all the way around. I found 2 new shoots, 2 new pups coming up. So maybe I could leave those on, and I think one might be attached to this. So let me show you a close-up. Okay, so I dug the dirt. So I dug the compost out all the way around, all the way out. See my hand there? It's all the way around. And right over here, I found 1 pup. This is a pup right here, and this is another pup. Do you see that? There's 2 starting out. This one looks like it might be in here or there. I'm not sure. But when I cut it, I'm going to try cutting it straight in the back and see where that goes. But it looks to me like it's coming out of this right here. So I could save it. And then on this side, this pup right here is going to the main banana plant. And this one's separated. So let's go ahead and see if I get a good close-up of what I'm going to do here. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to take this shovel and go right in the back, right over here, and try to get this and leave that alone if I could. It's not going to be easy, so let me try. I'm going to come through from the back side over here. You can probably see the shovel right there, and I'm making it. I put the shovel where if it goes down, it'll miss this right here. Possibly. Okay, so this one actually feels like it's coming out of this. So I'm going to come right back here and separate it. And if you notice, I'm going straight down along the parent plant. I'm going to go straight down along the parent plant, straight down. I'm not going to go in towards the corm. and I'm not going to come out towards the pup over here. So let me get up and cut it. Okay, so you've probably seen it and you probably heard it, and that kind of separated it a little bit. Now this one is definitely going towards that, so I want to separate this one. So let me go ahead and get my shovel and try to get under and lift. Okay, so with the largest shovel, I'm going to try to get under it over here. Dig a little bit more of this out right here. Okay, what I want to do is I want to go down and under and then lift. So it feels like I'm going to have to go ahead and take both of them out at the same time. So let me go ahead and cut that one down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go down right here. On an angle and cut that one out right there. Okay, so I have this one and this one separated from the parent plant. Normally I would come in this way and just pull up this, but those pups are there, so I want to come over and get it from this side. Okay, so since this pup right here was on this side of the pup I'm removing, and on the other side there was two smaller pups just not even breaking ground yet, but when I dug down below I seen them. I need to take this one out so I could get to this and try not to disturb the other little pup on the other side, the shoot coming out. So that's why I'm removing this one and this one. So let me get at it. Okay, so I put this shovel right here down against the parent plant and I separated this, and now using the bigger shovel I got under this one right here and I'm lifting. And here it is. I went ahead and got this pup out. I separated it right off the corm of the parent plant and got a bunch of the roots. So it looks like that. So let me go ahead and I'm going to place this right up in here, and I'm going to put it over here in the shade so the root is in the shade and the sun doesn't bake on it. So with that said, I want to come back over here. I want to remove this pup from the parent plant, but I have two pups here. I believe this pup is attached to this, so I'm going to come in from the other side and lift. I could come from this side or the front, but I didn't want to disturb that one or that one if I didn't have to, so I'm coming in from the other side. Okay, so I'm placing the camera here so you can see this, and you can see these down here to see if they come up or not. Okay, so now I'm going to pull it. There it is. Okay, so I got it out. It was a little bit more difficult because those two pups were coming out right by them and going in towards them. So this pup right here was attached. So then I got all the roots. And now this is separated. Okay, right here, this is separated. I got all the roots. So let's go ahead and take this and put this down in the pot right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and move all that compost back around the plant. Okay, so right down here, you can see I went straight down. I didn't damage the parent plant. So everything looks good there. So now I'm going to go ahead and backfill, put all this dirt back. I got the dirt and the compost back over it. Put the chop and drop back. Okay, so like I said, I had this big one over here I want to remove, but there was a smaller pup in the front, and then on the right side there was two small shoots coming out. So it was going to be virtually impossible to pull those out. And even if they got bigger, I would have had to take all of them out. So it looks like I got this baby pup, I got the bigger pup, and I got one of the shoots attached to the pup, and the other one was separated, which I'm going to try to save. Okay, so over here on this side, here's a pup. It kind of broke off, so another shoot's probably going to come out of it right there. And then another pup over here, so there's two replacements. So this pup over here is coming out. So the thing for me to do over here is just go ahead and cut this one like that, all the way off, and dispose of it. This pup right here, since it's attached to the parent plant, should shoot out another stem, another leaf right out here from the center. And right over here, this one's gonna grow. So, with that said, let me move on to another one. I'm going to go ahead and remove a pup from the parent plant, and I'm going to separate it. And this is how it goes. Okay, so first thing I want to do is take my tool, sit down comfortably on a bag, and remove the chop and drop that I have around the plant like this. I want to be able to see that there's no snakes there, and there's no snakes in back of me. Next, I'm going to pull away the chips and the compost like this, all the way down to the dirt. Okay, then I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to get behind it and get down like this. Okay, what I like to be able to do is I like to be able to see where the parent plant comes down to the pup. So when I take a flat shovel like this and put it down in there to cut, right there, that it's going flush down on the parent plant, and it's not gonna, and there'll be a little space over here, so it's not gonna catch the corm of the pup, and it's not gonna damage the corm of the parent plant. So let me go ahead and cut it right there. Listen as I cut. Make sure this is right there where I want it, right there. Now I'm going to take this and go, listen. Did you hear that? Okay, that was this shovel cutting right there. So now that it's separated it from the parent plant, I'm going to take this other shovel and I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to come in from this side so you can see. Okay, so because I got the camera, I didn't want to come on this side, so I came on this side. So I left this shovel here, so when I went down under with this larger, with the larger shovel, right here, when I lift it, this shovel protects the parent plant. Now this is separated. I could just go ahead and raise it up right now. And as you can see right here, this is where I separated it from the parent plant. And I got all these roots with it. Okay, so let me put this right here in the shade right now. And then you can see right over here, there's nothing here. I got all that. I'm going to pull out this shovel. And right up in here, you can see right here, you can see right here where I separated it from the corm of the parent plant. I went straight down right there. So now I'm just going to take all this dirt and put it back. Okay, so now I'm going to take all this compost right here and put it back. I'm going to take everything that I took out and put it back nicely right in here, like this. Okay. I'm going to take the chop and drop that I pulled out. I'm going to put all that back around. Just like that, like I was never in here. Now these pups are going to have a chance to get a little bigger. I could take this out right now, but I want to leave it because I have plenty more over there to get to. Okay. So here's the pup. Doing it in one hand. Okay, so here's the root of the pup that I just separated. Now I'm going to bring it over here and put it in the pot with the other two. Right over there. And now I'm going to go ahead and move to one of the other plants and remove another big pup. I need to separate this pup from the parent banana tree over here. And in doing so, I'm going to video it and show you how it's done. So first things first, I have a special tool over here, and I have a flat square shovel, and then I have a larger square shovel. So with this tool, I'm going to go ahead and first remove all this chop and drop with the tool. I use the tool in case there's a snake down there. I want to be able to see it. And I also look all the way around me. I don't want any snakes creeping up on me. I'm on the water. There's moccasins around. So, I'm going to use this tool and go ahead and pull some of the compost away like this. These are chips. Then I'm going to use my hand. Move everything away nicely. So now I have a separation between the parent plant and the pup. So I could just take this shovel and put it down there. That's what a lot of people do. But I like taking this tool and real gently, I like removing the compost away from the plant and the parent plant. Because I want to be able to see what's down here. Okay, so by doing that, I was able to expose right up in here. You see that right down in there? This is where I'm going to cut, but I'm going to cut flat down. I'll do it with this. I'm going to cut straight down right here along the parent plant. I'm not going to cut it on this side because I want to cut the corm. I want to cut outside the corm right up against the parent plant, and I don't want to cut into the corm and take the roots off of the pup. So right there is where I'm going to go. Okay, so hopefully I have the camera angled correctly, and I'm going to come right down in here. I'm going to come right down in here like this, right here. Oh, I'm going to get my shovel just right. Okay, I want to take this shovel and I want to come right down, right here, like this. Right there. Can you see that? Now, you're going to hear it. Listen for the cut. I'm going to push down right now. Listen. There it is. You can hear it. Okay, I believe I got that down enough, but I need to give it another push from this side. I'm sorry. So now I'm going to take this bigger shovel and I'm going to come in from this side and try to lift it out. Okay, the camera got knocked over, but this is how it works. I have this up against that. I cut through the corm. I took my bigger shovel and I got underneath and I lifted up. And this should come right out now. Look, if I lift, right here you can see where I cut off of the corm of the parent plant. And I got some nice roots with it. Now if I take this shovel out, right here, right down in here, okay, you can see right down over here is where I went straight down. I did not cut into the corm of the parent plant. I went straight down. I left this pup over here and this pup over here alone and got all this out. Okay, so now let me move this out of the way. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move all the dirt back in there, all the way around, get the dirt in there. That's all compost. Now I'm going to move the chips back around it, like this. Okay, I'm not having luck with that camera today. But I'm moving the chips back around, like this. And then I'm going to take all this chop and drop on both sides. And I'm going to put all that back around like I was never in here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more pups on here that are going to get a little bit bigger before I remove them. Okay, so here's the banana pup that I just removed. I got some roots and I got the whole plant. So I'm going to put this in with the others right here. Keep that out of the sun, and I'm going to go ahead and get another. I'm going to remove this pup from the parent plant, and I'm going to show you how that's done right now. Okay, so what you need is you need this tool right here or any other little sharp tool. Need yourself a nice square flat shovel, small, and then a larger flat square shovel. And I'll show you in a minute why. So first things first, I want to remove all the chop and drop right along there. I always put chop and drop on all my plants. And I remove that to make sure there's no snake around and to expose the mulch. And then I take the mulch and I remove the mulch like this. Now I utilize this to go in between like this and remove the compost all the way around it. Basically the dirt, the compost. That just helps break the soil a little bit and get down in between. And then I use this to get in between the two plants, the parent plant and the pup. I want to remove as much dirt as I could so I could feel and I could see right here. Okay, so in between the parent plant and the pup, I removed all the compost, and I want you to see what it looks like. Okay, so right in here, you can see this is the pup, and that's the parent plant. See right down here, you can see where the pup is attached. Right here, it's attached to the parent plant. Can you see this right here? That's where it's attached. So you want to give the cut right there along the parent plant. You don't want to go ahead and cut on the side of the pup because you'll cut off the corm and you'll cut off the roots. And on the parent plant side, you want to go straight down. You don't want to cut into the corm of the parent plant, so you got to go straight down. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this flat shovel right here, like this. See how I'm straight down on the parent plant? Now watch when I cut. And listen. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut straight down. You ready? Listen. Okay, so I'm hoping that you've seen this shovel go down in and you heard it go down in. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove this pup by using the bigger shovel. So let me get up and do that. So I'm going to take the bigger shovel and I'm going to go down right here, and I'm going to use that shovel as a guide so I don't hurt the plant. So I'm going to go like this, straight down, and now I'm going to lift up. Okay. So basically, this shovel right here protected the parent plant, and then I was able to lift up the pup. You can see right here is where the pup came off of the corm of the parent plant, and you can see this space over here. If I would have went down this way right here, I would have cut off all these roots, but I'm over here where it was attached to the parent plant and I have all the roots. Now right down here, okay, so right here you can see really good, right here, where the pup was attached to the corm, right here, of the parent plant. You see that? Right there. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take all this here, all this dirt and compost, and I want to backfill right here. It's nice, moist. I can feel, look, I can feel how moist it is. So all that is right back by the parent plant. Now I'm going to backfill some of the chips like this. And I'm going to take this chop and drop and put it all around. Now it looks like I wasn't even in here. And yet there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more pups that are smaller. I'm going to let them get bigger before I go ahead and separate those. Okay, so here's the pup right here. Let's go over here. Okay, so here's the pup. I went ahead and cut the pup off of the parent plant's corm. You can see right up in here. I didn't cut down here because if I did, I would have cut off all these roots. And you see all these roots right here? Well, all these roots I leave on. I've seen people cut those off, but I leave them on. And the reason why I leave them on is because roots of plants are what sucks up water and nutrients to feed the plant. So I put it right into the compost like that, and all these are like little straws. They're going to suck up all the water, and they're going to suck up all the compost that I put in there and the nutrients. That's just the way I do things, and it seems to be working out good. So now I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put it in here, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have one more pup that I want to separate for a total of 6 today. So let's get on with it. And for today's workload, I'm going to separate this pup from the parent tree right over here, and I'm going to separate them. And I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so the first thing I do is I take this tool and I remove all the chop and drop and compost and dirt. So I remove all the chop and drop with this tool, just in case there's a snake down in here. I don't want to reach in it and the snake and the moccasins strike me, because I'm over here on a lake and there's moccasins around. And I always look around me to make sure there's none creeping up. It sounds wimpy, but important. Okay, so then I take this tool And since this is close to this other pup, I'm going to go ahead and remove all this compost right here. It's chips. So I'm going to remove all this chips right here, going all the way around. Look how nice that soil looks. Nice, good, rich compost. And it's real soft. I could dig it out with my hand, but I got this tool so I could get in between that pup, like that, and come down and go in between it this way. And then I could come around like this. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm looking to see where that pup is coming from. Okay, the pup looks like it's going towards that parent plant. And I want to see where the bottom of this corm is going. And I just found it right here. And let me show you why. Now I can remove all this. Okay, good. What I wanted to do is I wanted to expose the parent plant. I want to expose the corm of this small pup and the corm of this bigger pup here, and see which direction it's going in. Right down at the bottom. So let me show you, because I don't want to cut it off. Okay, this one here is a tricky situation because you got the parent plant here, you got this pup, and you got the corm, and you have this pup in the corm. If you were to go down this way, you would cut the corm of this little pup right there, but you want this corm. So you can see where they kind of like go down right here together. So I'm going to have to go in right here like that to separate it without hitting that corm or this corm. So it's going to be a little tricky. So let me get down in there. Okay, it's a real tight fit in here, and I'm doing it with the camera. But what I want to do is I want to separate these gently. Okay, using this flat shovel, I have to go in between this pup over there, this pup over here, and the corm of the parent plant, so I don't catch the bottom of that pup in the parent plant. So I'm going to come in this way, right here, like that. This side of the shovel is touching the parent plant. And resting away from that little pup over there. So let's see how this goes right there. Now I'm going to use my body weight and try to get that. There it is. Okay, so I got this shovel resting on the parent plant, resting on that little pup, and in between that little pup and the bigger pup, and I pressed down with my hand to try to separate it. I think I got it just right. Now I have to remove this. So I'm going to pull out this little shovel right here. And I'm going to see right here if I can just lift. Like that. Now you can kind of see right here where I got the corm away from the parent plant, and I got roots with it. But let me go down, let me dig down in here and show you what I had to do with this one. Okay, so what made this tricky, out of the parent corm here, this pup is coming out like that. You see it? And then this pup that I just cut off of the parent this parent corm was at an angle. If I would have cut in straight, if I would have came in here and cut in straight like that without a shovel, without first exposing this, I would have cut that way, and I would have cut this corm of this small plant off right there. So I had to come off on this angle, and the only way to see that I needed to do that was I had to remove all this dirt right here so I could see where this was attached to the parent plant and where it came up against this other pup. So you could kind of see right there where I had to remove it real flat like that. Okay, so the thing with removing banana pups, it's relatively easy, but when you go in there blind with the shovel and you don't look, you don't dig and look like that, you have a lot more mishaps and you lose a lot more pups. So anyway, I got this one off. Harder to work with the camera. But anyways, I got this one off. So let me go ahead and move all that dirt, all this dirt back in over here real quick. The dirt's nice and moist. And I want to put all this dirt, it's compost, all back around the same way that I dug it out, but with the moist stuff first and then the chips on top. So here I put all that dirt back in. Now I'm moving some chips back in, and I'm moving some chop and drop back in all the way around, just like I was never in here. Let me go over on this side over here and get all this and move all this back just like this. So now I got a pup here, and another pup on the other side right there that are going to grow a little taller, and I'm going to get them for another day. But for right now today, I removed the pup off of this plant, and let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's the parent plant, and here's the pup that I removed. I separated the corm of the pup from the corm of the parent plant, and I missed the corm of the other pup. Normally, a pup like this, where it curves, is going right in to the parent plant. But in this case, it was attached sideways to the parent plant with another pup right there. See, so the corm's not there, it was attached sideways. So, if I would have went down and cut this way, I would have cut this corm, and I would not have got any of those roots, and I would have cut the other pup over there. But by digging around it, I was able to see that it was coming out towards the side to the parent plant, and I was able to get it separated nicely. So anyway, here you go. That's 6 pups that I just separated. Now I'm going to go over there and plant them in organic composted manure, put chips on them, and water them down. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I have my pups all separated, and I have 6 pots already filled with organic composted horse manure. So now I'm going to go ahead and transplant and plant these pups. So let's get on with it. So what I like doing is I like taking this tool right here and drilling down . Okay, this is a 4-inch auger. Okay, so since there's a hole in the center, so now I got to go ahead and take these and plant them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push a little bit of this out to the side. Make sure I get this down where I want it to be. And then I'm going to backfill it like this. And I could always add more if I want, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take the compost and I'm going to push it up against the walls. And I'm going to go ahead and take a banana pup and make sure it's going to go in at the depth I want. And since it's got roots, I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in like that and give it a little twist, so those roots go directionally around. And then I'm going to go ahead and backfill it like this. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. I got the pup. I'm going to push all this out to the side, press it against the side. And I'm going to take this and put it in just like that. And I'm going to backfill it. Okay, so I'm going to take this pup right over here, and this pup's got a pup on it. So I'm going to plant both of them in right here. First I'm going to dig this out deep. And I'm going to put this down in there like this. Give it a little bit deeper. Get that down in there. Now I'm going to backfill it. Now this is compact, but it's got the pup coming out. It's got the pup coming out of the ground right here. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so this pup right here has that little pup coming out of it. So I planted it right there. Okay, so now I'm going to take this pup right here, and I'm going to take this compost, put it up on the sides like this, just so the holes are a little wider. I can put this in, give it a little turn. Make sure the roots are going down and around. And now I have enough that along the side to go ahead and backfill this like this. Okay, now I got one more to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pack the compost up to the sides like that. And I'm going to grab this pup. This is the smallest of the pups. And I'm going to take these roots and I'm going to put them down, give this a little bit of a turn, and now I'm going to backfill it. Take all the air out, push it down. Okay, so I just finished separating pups from the parent plant pups. These are pups themselves. They're a little taller now, so I guess they're turning into adults. And right over here, I have all the pups that I transplanted. I transplanted 6 of them in some big pots. And there's composted horse manure in there, and I packed them down. Now I have to take them over to my well pump, and I'm going to go ahead and water them, and then put compost tea on them along with chips, not in that order. And I went ahead and put all those on my tractor, because lugging those around the yard, you can't really lift those. They're pretty heavy. So work smarter, not harder. I know not everybody's got a tractor, but you'll need some type of cart unless you fill your pots up wherever you're going to be storing them at. Me, I move them around so it's easier for me to do it like this. Okay, so here you go. That's what all that looks like right there. Okay, so I got all my pups transplanted in compost manure. Now I'm going to take them on down there, water them, put chips on the top, put compost tea in it so they can have all that nutrients because they were just transplanted, and then go ahead and put them where I want to put them and just let the roots take better, let them grow a little bigger until I have time to go ahead and either transplant them or sell them. Either way. So back at you. Okay, so I just went ahead and finished transplanting 6 banana pups. I put them in large pots with some composted horse manure. Now I'm going to take them over to my well pump. I'm going to water them, put chips on the top to retain the moisture, and then fertilize with compost tea. So let's get with it. Okay, so I'm over here by my well pump. I'm going to go ahead and put some chips in the pots, water, and put compost tea in there. Going to get some chips. Okay, so I got some chips. Let's go ahead and put some in here. This one has a pups, I want to be careful. Okay, this one has a pup over here, so I'm going to be careful. Need to get some more chips. One more bucket. Okay, another bucket of chips. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and water. The water's a little hot, let it run out of the hose. Okay, so now I got some water. I'm going to water them down. It's going to take a little bit because I want to water, deep water, everything till it fills up and starts coming out. Make sure it's really saturated. And you can kind of see when it's full, it starts lifting up the compost, the mulch. Then I move on to the next. So let me finish and I'll be back with you. Okay, so I finished watering them. Now I'm going to put some compost tea in there. I filled up a bucket, 10-to-1 compost tea. You could probably see the color, it's real dark. Okay, so I transplanted them into composted horse manure. I put chips on the top. I saturated them with water. And then I went ahead and put compost tea on there. The compost tea consists of Mexican sunflower and Comfrey Bocking 14. These are going to be some happy potted banana plants. Those roots are going to suck up all that moisture and they're going to be nice and healthy, awaiting transplanting. So anyway, back at you. Okay, so I brought the pups on the pallet over here along my fence line by my garden. It has drip irrigation. I'm going to take these pots and one by one put them by the drip irrigation so every day they get some water. But that's for another day. I hope you enjoyed.